Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get it going. We had an outstanding night on the card yesterday, 4-2. Just a quick recap within yesterday. I gave out 6 picks, and hey, today I'm going to give out 6 as well. So we're going to keep firing. I think this is a very strong card. I like a lot of bets. We're going to have a lot of plays on the over. So I'm going to break down each and every game for you guys right here on the channel. And as you guys all are aware, appreciate you all, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel down below. Smash that like button. I want to get over 200 likes in this video. That's something where we're going to shoot for. So if you guys are watching, I don't charge for picks. All I ask is that you subscribe and you do smash that like button, okay? Also, if you guys are betting today, let me know down below in the comments what you'll be on. I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on the platform. All right, channel memberships are now live. If you do want to become a channel member, $10 a month, way to give back, buy me a beer. There are going to be some exclusive perks coming. It's basically the same price as a Netflix subscription, except the Netflix account does not get you tickets cashed, okay? So that's kind of where we're at. I do want to talk to you guys more so about these games. I really like this card, and let's get down into it, okay? Also, if you do want to use a tool to help you make the best bet possible, this is oddsjam. I have a promo code TBM. If you get 30% off or 35% actually, so even a little bit more off your first month or annual plan. It's an outstanding tool. Before I make any kind of bet, prop bet, parlay bet, I use this in every regard because it really does make me more money. Simply put, it lets me have the best bet possible. And you know, for me and what I bet per unit and what I throw down, it's something where, you know, a little bit of a monthly subscription, it's just something that is truly invaluable. So that's what we have going on the channel. That's my news and updates. Like I said, 4-2 yesterday, very strong day. So let's keep that momentum going and let's get into the picks, okay? This is what we're looking at. And forgive me, I just kind of flashed what the plays were. So just make sure you guys all stick around to the end, all right? The first one out there, this is a game where, quite frankly, Yankees are going to be full of piss and vinegar today. Carlos Rodon, I know he's been pitching pretty well as of late, 129 strikeouts on the season, getting his win total up to 11 wins on the year, all right? We talk a little bit about the Yankees and their favorable schedule in August. A lot of home games. Jose Barrios, for the most part, this is something where he has been kind of a shining light for the Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays are kind of waving that proverbial white flag. So we'll see what happens, but I do think that the Yankees are going to respond to Aaron Boone and his motivation yesterday. He benched Gleyber Torres mid-game for lack of hustle. So, you know, if you guys have been around a dugout, you guys know that sometimes a manager can light a fire up your ass. You know, he could get thrown out on purpose, so on and so forth. There's numerous ways to ignite your team, and I don't call this pressing, but I do think this is one where it's going to allow the Yankees to really get on top of the some crooked numbers today. So we do like the Yankees in this bet. We're going to take them over 9. I know there'll be a chance for a push. Say we get 4-4 extra innings, maybe a 5-4 decision, but nonetheless, we're taking over 9 minus 115 in a bounce-back game of one of the worst performances that we saw from the Yankees offensively. Personally, this is also kind of playing off the fact that, hey, if the Blue Jays were able to do it yesterday, they could do it again. The zigzag is live. I didn't want to bet the Yankees on a steep minus 172 price. So taking the over gives us a little insurance if the Yankees hit the ball but they don't get the win, and then the Blue Jays come back on the other side and help us with some run support. So the only thing that makes me nervous here is Rodon has been pretty solid in his recent starts. So other than that, this is a firm official play, Yankees over 9. Okay, next game out on the card, Cardinals and the Cubbies. Okay, Jameson Taillon had a horrible outing last time out, going against Kyle Gibson and the Cardinals. I actually see some runs in this one, okay? It is going to be a little day baseball. We have the total set at 7.5, 220 first pitch out there at Wrigley. So if you do want to get behind the Cubs, fine, but this is not a play for me on a side or total. But if I was going to lean in one direction, it would be towards the over 7.5, okay? And the next game is one where we are going to have an official play. This one is something where I see a lot of runs. We're going to have a trend in this card. I do see a lot of runs in a lot of these games. We are going to be taking the Brewers and Nationals over. DJ Hers going against Aaron Savali. This is too low of a number, personally. 8.5. We can see it juiced up minus 135. That's the best number available, brought to you by Hard Rock Bet. So that is what we're going to be laying, minus 135 on the over 8.5. Savali's a very favorable pitcher to the over, and as all we know, the Nationals are capable of getting hot. So I see one of these teams possibly exploding, but nonetheless, we are going to still get that over cashed. All right. And then the next game, Kansas City, Detroit. This is one where we're going to have official play as well. We can look into this one a little bit deeper, and you can see the Royals have been one of the most profitable teams as of recent. Conversely, the Tigers have lost 5 in a row. So we're not going to bet against that trend to expire. I think that this is a really cheap price on the money line. We're going to be taking the Royals minus 131 on the money line. Michael Lorenzen has been pretty fantastic. I know that he doesn't have the record, but 3.81 ERA, getting that, those acquisitions that we look for the Royals to kind of strengthen their case to make it into the postseason. I just truly like the Royals here. Bobby Witt's on fire. Probably, some people are calling him the face of baseball. I'm not going to go that far, but as Trout continues to be on the mend, and maybe the likes of Ohtani, outside of that, and I definitely could see that narrative with his age definitely taking shape, and Bobby Witt really grows into his own. So we're going to be taking the Royals on the money line. Detroit doesn't even have a pitcher named. Riley Green, as we all know, out of the lineup once again. So I do like the fact that the Tigers are probably going to be lackluster, failing to score some runs, and the Royals, let's capitalize in this this AL Central matchup, okay? And then we are going to hit the next game on the card. All right, this is the Arizona Diamondbacks and Pittsburgh Pirates. Full disclosure, I will be only betting this game because, quite frankly, I am going to the game. But nonetheless, I do like Pittsburgh in the spot. Mitch Keller, I know Paul Skeens gets all the credit, but Mitch Keller has been absolutely fantastic on the season. The only thing that scares me in this bet, and it's kind of why the number I think is low for a home team with a better pitching matchup, Jordan Montgomery, I think, got rocked his last outing, but we look into the numbers and the deeper dive into this game. Arizona's been scoring some runs. The Pirates have been scoring some runs. So this is actually kind of a way that I would look into the over. But because I'm going to the game, I'm going to root for the home team. I'm laying the minus 111 within the Pirates' money line. So that's kind of where I'm at within that contest. All right, Boston, Texas. We're staying away from Tanner Houck. Get the ERA's there, but consistency with his quality starts. He has the ability to get kind of beat around a little bit. Texas at home is a team that I really don't like to bet against them at home in that lineup. However, they don't have a pitcher named to this point. So this is something where Boston's going to be very heavily kind of one-sided. I think minus 114 is a little bit fishy, and it's a little bit cheap on the Boston side. So if for me, it would be Boston or nothing, but I'm not going to bet against the Rangers lineup at home, so I'm staying away from this game. All right, and then we get into the pale white hose, okay, the Chicago White Sox. This is something very, very, I think they've lost 15 games straight, maybe a little bit more than that. But the one shining spot has been Garrett Crochet. Shocked he did not get dealt at the trade deadline. 160 strikeouts on the season. Unbelievable. But going against Bailey Obear and the Twins, this number set at minus 1.5 at plus 120. This would be kind of where I lean in this, but Crochet's been kind of the one bright spot of the White Sox. So after dealing Eloy Jimenez, I don't want to get behind the White Sox, but if I did have a play in this, it would be on the side of the Twins. But I am going to stay away from this one, okay? And then next, we're going to get into Tampa Bay and Astros. Okay, this is a game where we look into kind of what we've been seeing from the Astros. And, we were on the under yesterday, that cash, so a little contrarian play, which I like. But this is one where it's Ronel Blanco or nothing going against the likes of Zach Littell. I think we're looking at this number, minus 145 at Astros at home. You could favor the Astros. That's just a little bit too steep of a price. There's just better value out there, so this bet did not make my card. All right, and then we can hit up the the next game on the card, which is going to be Baltimore and Cleveland. Zach Eflin and Joey Cantillo. All right, we're going to go back to the well. Both games we have seen some runs, and I think over 8.5 is going to be the play in this contest. I am not actually going to bet it, but it came this close to making my card. I ended up putting Milwaukee, Washington in there instead. But that's kind of where I'm at. I like the over. Cleveland's won the first two games and now plus 105 at home. Cantillo has an 8 ERA. I look for the Orioles to strike back. Minus 112 is a little cheap for the Orioles. I think they have the better matchup. I think that they get it done, but I'm going to stay away from this one. A little bit of a tidbit on the Indians. I think it's a crazy statistic. If they hit a home run in any of their games, I think they're winning like 88% of the games or 90-some% of the games if they do hit a home run. So, keep that in mind. I think that it's really, truly impressive to think that the Guardians have the best record in the MLB, not just the AL. They made some moves at the deadline, but not that splash that we were all looking for. But what they've done, I mean, you got to tip your cap, and I will give it up to the Cleveland Guardians because I will admit when I'm wrong in transparency's sake. I was not on them. I had them finishing third in the Central, so shout out to them, and let's see if we can get 3 in a row against Baltimore, which, in many people's accounts, they are the kind of the favorite to come out of the AL. All right. Giants, Reds, no play for me. Hunter Green at home. Giants won yesterday, I believe. I'm not sure on that, but Hunter Green in this matchup definitely has the edge. So it's Reds or nothing for me, okay? But I'm not going to bet this one, okay? Marlins, Braves, this number is kind of out of control. We're seeing minus 200. Kyle Tyler, Grant Holmes, not enough data on these pitchers to feel confident. Maybe a little bit of a sprinkle on Marlins, plus 210. That's something where I think, or 219 actually is the best number. That's something I could think that would be possibly a kind of a value play. So maybe a half unit on the Marlins, but other than that, the Braves have been taking care of business. 16-49 on the season, so it's kind of a tough game to handicap. All right. And then let's hit up the game that is going to be kind of a true zigzag. This is where I like the Padres again on the run line. We bet that yesterday. That was one of my losing bets, but we are going back to it at plus 100, so even money on that bet. And also, I do like the over 8.5. Colorado's been putting up some runs. We all know San Diego's been putting up some runs, and I think these pitchers are going to allow for San Diego to do well. I think if you want to get into the same game parlay market, you can look into the likes of possibly even Manny Machado home run. You can look at the fact that the Padres team total is probably really juicy. If it's set at 4.5, I still like that. But if you're going to bet the 4.5, just take the over for the full game as well. That's kind of where I'm at in the handicap. So loving the Padres, loving the runs. This is a definite bounce back game for San Diego that I think is going to have a very, very strong case. The only thing that kind of makes me nervous is they did do a lot of moves to bolster that back end. So their bullpen, whoever's available, I look for San Diego to do very well in this contest. Okay, and this is kind of an outlier yesterday where we saw San Diego really just put up a dud. But I think on the run line, and we look at the fact that the Rockies are 15-41 on the road this season, this definitely lines up. They don't really hit lefties well. So Padres on the run line, Padres team total, and the over 8.5 full game. I really, really am kind of inclined to bet that market, and I probably will end up making that my same game parlay of the day. All right. And then we have a couple games left on the card, 3 of them actually, where we are going to get into the Dodgers and Athletics. This one I didn't really know how to handicap. Quite frankly, the $1.66 for the Dodgers is very, very juicy. I believe the Athletics possibly won yesterday, so getting the Dodgers on a bounce-back game, if I'm correct, they did win. Forgive me, I didn't really watch too much baseball. Usually I watch 4 to 8 games a night, and when I'm making my picks the night before, I just kind of I kind of like to have all the data available to me, and then I wait till about now when you're going to be watching this video, because that way we get some more definite with the weather situation, some of the wind, as well as who's actually going to be starting. A lot of late scratches that we get sometimes from time to time in the MLB. Okay, but Jack Flaherty making his debut as a Dodger, outstanding pitcher. His win-loss would be a lot better if he was on a better team than the Tigers, but 133 Ks on the season, 2.95 ERA. If you like the strikeout market, you could take Jack Flaherty over. Going against Mitch Spence, I think the Dodgers shine bright. I like the Dodgers team total. over as well. I just don't know if I want to get behind or bet against this Athletics team that's been kind of on a mission and really tearing it up here as of recent. So, and there goes oddsjam. I want to bring up this final game. We are getting a little bit of a technical difficulty midstream, which is always fun. But here we go. Nonetheless, the last two games on the card, we have the Mets and Angels. Okay, we're going to go back to the well. We're taking the Mets minus 120 on the money line. I think this is a very, very low number. I think this is a wrong spot. I think David Peterson 5-1 on the season. They won yesterday convincingly. I think 5-2. I love the matchup against Jose Soriano. Not getting in the Mets' way against an Angels club that I think is really defeated right now. So Mets minus 120. Don't overthink it. The number's right in front of us. Taking that on the money line. All right. Phillies and Mariners, that's the last game to round out the card. This is one where we were on the under. Mariners at home has been a very kind of profitable trend, I would say, of recent time. Bryce Miller hosting Orion Kerkering. All right, never heard of the guy. 2-2 on the season, 2.21 ERA. The under 8.5 is live, as always, with the Mariners. But with this Phillies lineup, and kind of the mentality that you have to come into the game knowing that you have to beat them by scoring runs, it's not enough to make me bet this. One thing worth noting, if you are going to look for nrfi bets, always look into the fact that interleague play, a lot of times these pitchers, they can get the first inning out of the way unscathed, just due to the fact that they don't really have any recency or history bias. And if a lineup the first time around is unfamiliarized with that said pitcher because of interleague play, in this case, Orion Kerkering is a newer pitcher. This is a bet that would lend very well to the nrfi as long as you get through Schwarber and Trey Turner in those first two, in that first three. Their top three is really, really fascinating. The Phillies lineup is just unbelievable. So that's where we're at. Not enough for me to play it one way or another, but lean towards the no-run first inning and the under 8.5 at a very good minus 108 price, but it's not enough of a edge for me to bet any of those. So that's where we're at. That is my full recap and rundown of what's going on today in Major League Baseball. Here is the recap of my picks. Like I said, we're going to have 6 plays, 7 if technically you pick both of those San Diego games, but I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to bet, but I do like all of those bets I told you about San Diego, and that is my rundown and my official plays for today's contest. So appreciate you guys. Let's cash some tickets. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.